have we heard so far in this debate? There was basically a lot of different assertions and a lot of ridiculous examples coming in. But one thing was very common. They have been talking about constantly the vaccination is important and why it's so damn important that everybody has to get it without the consent of their parents at that time when they were a child. Okay, so let's hold on a moment and let's sort of calculate this scenario. If a kid is being given a choice that you have to get this inside your body, and this antibody is going to be created inside your body, and you may not know the kind of allergic reactions you are susceptible to, and also supposed to have a sort of repercussions inside, in later parts of your future, and you're supposed to deal with it, but you're not gonna get this doctor or not gonna get this manufacturer of vaccination in no way that is going to create a valuable judgment, because you're not capable enough to make the choice, right? So at the same time, your only agents right there should be your parents, who take a lot of decisions for you at that point. That is why exactly we don't think doctors are supposed to be the only agent to make sure the vaccination process is ongoing for you and for your life to begin with, because this is a direct change that has been made to you by a certain stakeholder, which is doctor and the vaccination manufacturers or the state in general. So that's what we say. You have to give a proper amount of information to both the stakeholders to understand the situation and deal with it in a meaningful way. So when a sustainable policy is not being rolled out by the government so far, regardless of developing and developing nations, we simply think this is not the idea that we should be putting forward to, because we have told you from the opposition there are a lot of reasons not to believe the doctors in an absolute sense, an absolute metric. We have given you the case of Philadelphia, when 6 kids actually died in a particular malfunction of vaccination process. We can no way hold the doctor responsible for it. You can no way hold the responsibility. You can no way hold the vaccination manufacturer responsible for this, and also the state, because of this very factor. When you sign that there is a vaccination, this is being rolled out, every kid has to get this without any other consent. So that is why there is no way in its current status quo you can sue them. You can sue the manufacturer. You can sue the National Health Department for that matter. That is exactly the kind of reasons we are telling you, that if I'm allergic to this, my parents are in the best position to tell you that whether or not this should be done onto my body or this should be done onto my life. At the same time, even if this is a religious reason, we think there is a fundamental difference between a collective harm and the religious choice and the freedom of expression. Because when you're saying this is a collective harm, there has to be a certainty, there has to be a guarantee and assurance that yes, this is always going to occur because of me not taking the vaccination, contracting the disease to other people, and people are dying at that level. I think this is simply the fallacious idea, because I've told you from the opposition bench that yes, vaccination is not an absolute science. There is 7 to 8% subjective chance of not being worked out, and at the same time there are people is a subjective reaction to antibodies created inside their body, so it may or may not work. We also have an organic system of developing antibodies inside your body. The vaccination just probably accelerates it or sort of decelerates in some other cases. So that's not absolute science to begin with. Medical science is constantly developing, and it will sort of come up with a lot of things in between. So that's what when we say there is no perfect chance and assurance that yes, this is going to work, and without this people are going to fall into this slippery slope, we have no reason to believe. And secondly, when it's an invasive procedure, we can no way say yes, this is actually going to be without parental consent, because one party has to be there who's supposed to take care of the decision and also stand by the repercussions that have to be faced by the kid we're talking about, the minor we're talking about. So for all these reasons, when the government bench is telling you a lot of lies, a lot of assertions, we simply giving you the reasons that A, we don't believe in doctors' absolute agency, and B, vaccination works, but that does not mean it has to be made compulsory without the consent of parents who are supposed to take care of their kids in a lot of different ways. Thank you very much.